once again to your show, the Limitless by Nature show, and I am really, really excited to have you on this show. I'm excited because you're about learning something that is very powerful, about learning something that is very profound. And the reason why I had to put this particular topic together is to be able to help somebody who perhaps is going through hard times as a result of what somebody told them, right? As a result of the nasty thing that somebody told them. Because the truth of the matter is that there are some persons that can be very, very, very nasty, right? And so I've come by way of helping you get out of that, right? I remember several years ago, I used to put my tools, right? I used to put my tools in a polythene bag. You understand, a polythene bag. And I used to just, if I have a job anywhere, I'll just put my tools in the polythene bag and go to where I'm going to. So there's this more like client of mine that's, while on one of those days he asked me to come because he also had a job somewhere and he wanted me to go and do so. He asked me to come. He asked me to come to his office. I got to his office. He was having a chat. They were gisting per se with his friends. And lo and behold, when he saw my polythene bag, he started making fun of it. You understand? He said something like, "You and this your leader." Those of us in Nigeria would relate to this. "You and this your leader. Okay? How much did he sell bag when you feed back?" Meaning that you always carry this your polythene bag around. What does it cost to get a proper bag to get a proper bag to put your tools in? And even though it came off to be like more like a mockery, but then it really, really sank into me, because after that time I had to go look for a backpack and I had to go get one. All right, I had to go get one. So that was how I stopped using polythene bag for my tools and I started using a backpack. So that for me, was the lesson. It's a lesson that I would never forget in a hurry. It's been about, I think, 10 years or so, or maybe 10 years or less than 10 years ago. But it is one lesson that I have always had. So I've come to talk to you about converting insults to results. Yes, converting insults to results. Converting insults to results. The truth of the matter is that insult is something that you may not totally eradicate. All right. There are some persons who would deliberately want to insult you just to put you down, just to relegate you, just to make you feel bad of yourself. But the truth of the matter is that sometimes some of these insults are also orchestrated to help you sit up. Sometimes some of them are to, like in my own case, they are to help you upgrade yourself, because there are some of you watching me right now or listening to me right now that upgrading yourself is a problem. It's a problem. Maybe due to your orientation or due to the fear of, okay, should I decide to want to do this? What would be the cost implication? For some of you, it could just be out of maybe a nonchalant attitude that you have. And so sometimes some of these things, some of these situations are actually created to be able to help you, right? To be able to help you come out of that situation. And so in my case, that was exactly what happened to me, right? And so as a result of that, it is something that abounds to happen. What then is even insult, if you may ask? Insult simply means to treat with indignity, to treat with disdain, to treat with contempt. Sometimes they could come in the form of using offensive words at you. Sometimes they could come in the form of mockery. Sometimes they could come in the form of using maybe a deficiency that you have to make fun of you. All right. Sometimes it could come in the form of using your mistakes to judge you, using your mistakes to condemn you. Sometimes, so it will come in various forms. But the truth of the matter is that I want you to understand that insults is also part of life. And if you have, until you come to terms with this reality, you may not be able to then know what to do or how to prepare for insults when they come. And so it's important that you draw your chair closer and pay attention to the things I'm going to be sharing with you on how you can convert insults into results. And so it's important. So for you to be able to do that, some of the things that you can do include the following. Now, number one, which I simply titled, I simply just write down, if you have your pen and paper, let's do some bit of learning, right? Are you ready? All right. Okay. Write approach in a vertical order. Approach. Write down in capital letters, but in a vertical order. All right. So I've written that. Let's do. Number one, the letter A. The letter A in the approach is assess the cause. Assess the cause. Now, sometimes people will not just insult you for nothing. So what you may need to do is for you to first assess the cause. Why is this person using these words on me? Why is this person using these words on me? Find out. Is there something that I am not doing right that the person then now decides to use that against me? So assess the cause. Very important. Then the next thing is for you to be patient. Patiently look through the situation. Patiently look through the situation. Imagine in my case, if I didn't, even though it was painful, right? Because how can you're having a gist, and right before your friends there, this is somebody that could have maybe called me aside and talked to me about it, but decided to make a fun of me openly. All right. So if I wasn't patient, I would have taken it the wrong way, and maybe I wouldn't have changed. So you need patience. You need patience. Then the second P is you need to look at the positive sides. The positive sides. To every insult, there are positive sides. So what are the positive sides? And until you are patient, you may not be able to see the positive sides. Very important. Another very important thing, which is R, is for you to react with the right disposition. React with the right disposition, and be very careful not to overreact. I know that the temptation will be to overreact. The temptation will be to give it to whoever insults you hot, to give it to them very hot. But refrain from doing so, right? Refrain from doing so. Rather, what you can now do is ensure that try to look at the merits. Look at the whole situation. And find out the positives. Then react with the right disposition. The right disposition in this case is to look at the positive sides and focus on the positive side, because you will be shocked and amazed at the positive side. Now, I didn't know. If I didn't look at the positive side, I wouldn't know that the reason for that fun or that jest or that insult was for me to step up. You understand? So it's important. Then O is overlook the intention of the insulter. Sometimes the intent would be to make fun of you, but overlook the intent, because sometimes the intention may be the wrong one, but overlook the intent of the insulter. Then C, convert the insult into resources. Convert the insults into resources to boost your energy for positive things. Convert it into resources. Let whatever it is that they say, let that energize you. Use that as an energy. Let that push you into doing something that they think that you cannot do, or into looking for solutions to the problems that they are using to insult you, or looking for solution to the challenge that they are using against you. Then lastly, H, hit the ground running by doing things that will help you produce results. hit the ground running by saying things that will help you to produce results. The truth of the matter is that in my life, I've had a series of insults, all right? Some directly at me and some not directly at me, all right? Some directly to me, some maybe somehow through body language, because people can insult you through body language, you understand? But don't focus on that. Rather, look at the positive sides. Look at the positive side. I want you to note this, that you are not what people say or what they call you. You are not what people say about you or what they call you. You begin to become what people say about you when you begin to act according to that. I'll say that again. You are not what people say about you. You're not what people say about you, especially the negative things that they say, that you're a liar, you are a cheat, you are a thief, you are a fraudster, and all of those things. You are not those things until you begin to act in line with those things. That's when you become those things. So you need to be very careful about that. You understand? I want you to also know that insults, of course, they're inevitable. They're inevitable. People will always insult you. People will always insult you. Sometimes they do that to make you lose focus. I want you to understand this, that sometimes people just insult you to make you lose focus in life. That's the truth. Because some of them are intimidated by your personality. They're intimidated by your personality, and because they don't have anything, so they use the weapon of insult to talk you out of what of the track that you're already on, that is leading to something meaningful and something important in life. And so they will insult you. They will insult you just to talk you out of that beautiful and fantastic thing it is that you're doing. So don't pay attention to it. All right? Don't pay attention to it. Like I said, insults don't define you. They begin to define you when you begin to live based on that. When somebody tells you you will never amount to anything. If you begin to live with that consciousness and you begin to do things that do not amount to anything, it will become your reality eventually. But if you walk against those things, you can never be those things. You can never be those things. You can never be those things. It's very important. So the very first place to begin with is to forgive your insulter. Forgive them. Forgive your insulter. Now, I know that forgiveness is something that is sometimes very difficult to do. But the truth of the matter is that it's a choice that you have to take, that you have to make. Until you forgive, sometimes you may not be able to move forward. Sometimes the person who have insulted you may have is long gone and have forgotten about the situation. But as somebody that is maybe watching this right now, and you have been holding on to an offense that was done against you years ago. You need to let go. Come on, let go of that. Let go so that you can be able to move forward. Somebody may have said something many years ago that was so painful and all of that. I understand. All right, I understand. But the truth of the matter is that you just have to forgive. Because the truth is, forgiving is also the right approach. Forgiveness is also the right approach. It's important that you know that. You understand? Forgiveness is the right approach. And remember that results is the best antidote or the best answer to insult. So respond with it. If somebody tells you you cannot do it, you understand, and they say all kinds of things, because maybe at the time they met you, they felt that based on what you have, you cannot amount to anything, you cannot do anything. Let them know that you can. In fact, you are wired. In fact, you've got all of the resources that you need to be able to do it. All you need to do is forgive them, look inwards, and begin to work. Remember approach. Approach is very important. And the right approach is for you to assess the situation. The right approach is patience. The right approach is looking at the positive side. The right approach is reacting with the right disposition. The right approach is overlooking the intention of the insulter. The right approach is actually converting that into positive energy that would push you into achieving something worthwhile. The right approach is hitting the ground running, not minding what they have said about you, not allowing what they have said about you to define you. The right approach is forgiving the insulter, right? The right approach is telling them that, you know what, all of the things you have said do not define me. What defines me is what I choose to do. And the right thing or the wise thing you can choose to do is to move forward. And trust me, by the time you do all of these things, you can convert insults into results. And if I can do it, you too can do it. So I dare you to begin to do it. Thank you very much for investing this time. I trust that you have learned something. My name is Simon Matthew. All right, I'm so excited that you stayed up until this time. All right, so feel free, click on the subscribe button if you haven't, and click on the notification button if you haven't. Trust me, if you think you have heard it all, there are other amazing episodes that are yet to come. And feel free to also check out other shows on this particular platform, talking about the business sense with Simon Matthew, talking about chat with the experts with Good Simon, and other amazing shows. Until I come your way again, keep living the limitless life, keep doing business, and keep making